the first question is about the future, not about the past, because I'm wondering when will be the time for releasing a new album. And he has 2 years right now.
Yeah.
So in the music business,
Yeah.
it's a fucking lot of
Yes,
time.
but that's true, and we usually take our time, sometimes 4 years, to make an album. I always say quality over quantity, and nothing will ever get released unless it's perfect for me. So even if it will be like commercially less viable, I won't release an album unless I feel I'm ready writing. However, I was counting the riffs and the like structures of songs I have, and I think I have like 6 songs. So I predict next year, sometime I don't know, but next year I'll record an album.
And you are mixing and recording the albums in fucking different places all over the
Yeah,
world. I
yeah.
know Greece, New York, Istanbul, and so
No,
on. So
we
you
did
have an
the.
idea where? Germany, maybe?
No, no, no,
Netherlands?
no, no. I've done that as well. Did Germany? Did Netherlands? Did Sweden? The thing is, recording an album because we kind of take our time in the studio, like a while, and I like some time for creativity. I like places, generally speaking, with like good weather and good food and stuff, because it's I'm solar energy person, but actually I might go back to Greece
Oh,
to record, and then we're probably talking about mixing it in Sweden.
you are the world citizen, born in Armenia, growing up in Israel,
Well, not
moved to
quite. Yeah,
Europe, and so
yeah.
on.
My family are Armenian and also Aramaic. I'm born in Jerusalem, but then I lived a little bit in Senegal, Africa. So the first language I uttered was French, actually, and then went back to Jerusalem. Then went to the States. Then back to Jerusalem. Then 16 years, 17 years in Holland. And during that 17 years in Holland, 3 years on and off in Istanbul with a girlfriend at the time. Then the last couple of years in Germany. And this year I'm spending a lot of time in Jerusalem and Germany. It's shuttling back and forth.
Where's the best place to live for you?
Uh,
Maybe yet unknown or not?
Maybe yet unknown, but the criteria is not flat, uh, good culture, reasonable weather, 4 seasons hopefully, and an extra preference if it's in English because it's easier on me. It's the easiest language I can speak, and so California is one of those places I feel very much at home.
The biggest impact on your music and on your writings, which place you lived, where it was, in Jerusalem,
Actually,
and
we
was
start with the band. We started in Jerusalem. However, some of the
Jerusalem.
best albums I made, I was in Germany and in Holland. It doesn't matter where I am, the music will come out because it's from the inside. It's the inner cosmos, the inner temple that brings it out. And that was the proof. Like in Holland, it would be where I lived, gray, raining, and it didn't affect the music. As a matter of fact, maybe it made me want to make more. I don't know.
I read somewhere in the past that Jerusalem was a not big enough place for making, let's say, big music, yeah, big metal. And you agree with that? It was maybe too short in terms, the stage show in Jerusalem instead of Europe.
Jerusalem, no, no, Jerusalem. There's everything there, and for everyone, and it's like very national and multicultural. But yeah, there wasn't really internationally signed bands as far as I know. Definitely no metal bands. Definitely no black metal. So we were the first black metal band from Jerusalem, and the first band to get an international record deal when we were there. But it was limited, and the record label was small. So then we just moved on to Europe to continue with other things as well and continue the band. And yeah, we continued from there on. We just don't look back.
I think that you can agree with me that Melechesh it's not a typical black metal band, and nowadays you can see the two ways of making black metal. This classic black metals, like for instance Gogorot,
Yeah.
or the new ones like Polish Mgła, like for instance the
Mm.
Gogorot Freiheit without image, without let's say Satan and so on. So
Yeah.
and you are going in the third way. You agree or
Well,
not?
basically, I mean, in the 80s, black metal was basically satanic or occult thrash metal or heavy metal. you know.
Oh my.
Yeah, and then there was a genre from an area, Scandinavian, and there were a lot of talented bands. And I said, I have the mentality is lead, don't follow, create, don't recreate, And I had a responsibility to my region. And I noticed even in the metal scene, many of the bands sing about concepts from my, mythology and culture. Like there are bands called Marduk or Apsu, or this is all words from and bands like Morbid Angel use lyrics, from this stuff. So I'm like, wow, it's a very rich. It's the cradle of civilization. It's the beginning of mythology, which evolved to Greek and then evolved. So why not be proud of it and present it? But present it, you have to do it right. You have to make a sound, an image. It has to be the whole package. So we invented extreme metal from our region, from the whole area there. So yeah, even if it's one little leaf on a tree, or a branch, no matter what, it's something to be proud of. But it's also a responsibility to strive to get better and better, and sound like no one yet. Not as an experimental band. It's listenable, it's accessible, it's real riffs, it's real drumming, but with its own style.
You are more than 20 years on the stage right now. Is it still underground band or is it a big label? Because Nuclear Blast is a big factory, big.
Yeah.
And how do you find it?
Well, it
For your
depends.
own
How do you
stuff?
find? It depends. How do you find underground? Yeah, I used to work also
Do
at.
what you want to do.
Yeah, but also I used to work at a major label, EMI and stuff. So even death metal and very like famous death metal band are still underground in that definition. But when you go to the metal definition, I don't know if we were underground. I mean, like we could play a club and there's like 100 people, and then we can play a club and there's 1,000, and we can play a festival and there's 40,000 people knowing the songs and cheering for those songs. And people are knowing the band or still discovering the band. It's definitely not a hype band or a fashion band. It's just we earn our listeners through credibility and songwriting, the good old-fashioned way. Because sometimes music is not actually about sound; it's about perception and vision. And sometimes music is actually about sound. You can put a CD and just I want that. That's what I want. It's like you can go to a good restaurant, old fancy. The plate looks amazing. You're like, but you eat it. There's no flavor actually. So I try to keep it about music.
Uh, Tell me a little bit about this, how it came to life to go with Gorgoroth. I know that they are the friend of yours, so was
Yeah.
it hard, to mix the days and so on and
Well,
turn on?
no, no. I know many of them. One of their tours, they came to Holland. I just went to say hello, get some wine. The drummer, I toured with him many times. I know the singer very well. The guitar player, I know the guys. They're great guys, and I respect them as a band as well. Um, what happened is our booking agency said, "Would you like to do this?" I said yes immediately because of that. But also, what I like to do when there's like a headlining band, I like different types. Like once it's like a bit industrial, like Samuel, or you go with like Vader or with Nile, or you go, So there's always a mix of people
Yeah,
coming to the, and I want
you are
that.
not the copy of
I,
the headliner and the copy and the copy.
Exactly, and I know we stand alone, and we got people who like us come from different angles in the metal scene. So we're agile, and it exposes us maybe to a little bit of. There's a crossover of fans, but also exposes us to different types of fans who they themselves wouldn't necessarily know us or want to know us. So it's always interesting to do new stuff. We can also go with a band which has a tribal feeling. We can go with a black metal band, a thrash metal band. We'll fit there.
With Cavalleras, so on.
That would be great as well. I mean, they're great guys, good friend. I respect them. Like a Soulfly is a tribal. That would be the common theme, a tribal theme from exotic countries who do a bit of sound of their background.
The tone is the same, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You understand that? That's so. we fit there, but we're also like an extreme metal band. Our roots are dirty, raw black metal, and which we evolved it with a sound of our own.
So maybe the last question maybe is it's too philosophical, but comparing only to the music, where are you gonna be in 2 year time? I know it's gonna be a new album. You said maybe yes after Enki, very good,
Yeah.
good long play, and you have a goal for this 1 2 years period of time, or let it flow.
The last few years been like a fast flowing river. I stopped planning. I just like for me, long time planning is a month. I don't know what I'm doing next month. I'm just taking it day. I live day by day. However, when you're in a band, of course, you got to be responsible. So, I just want to compose something credible and good, but I don't know where I'm gonna be. I have no idea. I don't even know where I'll be living because, like I say, I'm shuttling between Jerusalem
Maybe
and
Poland
Germany.
also.
I wouldn't mind. It's why I wouldn't mind about Poland. There's a few things. There's one hell of a metal scene, and there are a lot of beautiful women here. So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to. I would
You are
rather.
thinking,
I would rather be somewhere a little bit more sun because that's I paid my dues with the rain in 16, 17 years in Holland, but I wouldn't say no. It's like, yeah, cool. Warsaw's is a big place, and there's a lot to do. So I wouldn't say no, basically.
Thank you very much for
My
it.
pleasure.